Hey everybody, it's Eric from Harker Customs, and I'm here to just show you the installation of the Ranger Slayer cape, wired cape. Now, this installation is a tiny bit more difficult than my usual ones, probably I'd say on the same lines as the Thor, just because you are going to have to use an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife. Gel super glue, definitely use gel. It's way easier to control. I prefer Loctite. You're going to need your Ranger Slayer cape, and of course you're going to need your figure, but I'm going to put that over to the side. So what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to cut this shoulder piece off, because on the new cape it obviously doesn't have it. So that's what we're going to do right now. What I prefer to do is cut kind of at an angle. And take it real slow, and remember to be very careful. Parent supervision if you're not of age to handle a hobby knife, or perhaps even get somebody else to do it for you. Let me get it in focus here. And you're just going to take it right along that edge. Cut. Don't try to cut into the pink side of it. Now, if you have to cut a little extra, that's fine, because it's better to cut too much than it is to cut too little. You can always come back and either sand it, or you can come back in and do what I'm doing and just trim it down. Kind of off camera there. Just give me a second here. I'm going to clean this up. Get this edge real good. Might be a little longer video since getting this perfect is going to be mine, so gotta get it just right. I won't be doing any send me your cape and I'll modify kind of things. I'm trying to get out of that, just being responsible for so many people's figures, especially at a time where it can be a major cause of stress, obviously, because when you're handling somebody else's stuff, you are responsible for it, and of course I'd be responsible for it. And I've had to even replace an SH Figure Arts Thor figure before, so it's definitely not ideal, but I'm not going to be that guy and go, oops, your figure's gone because the mail didn't get back to you. My cape it's connected in the front, and that's just so it doesn't fall off. It's very small. It's not really all that noticeable considering how close this one is together anyway. So what you're going to do now that your shoulder is cut off, you're going to put the cape down on the figure, and you're going to conform the cape directly to the figure's back. Really should have tilted this camera up some more. Let's see if I can go ahead and adjust that real fast. That way we can get a better shot of it. It's not like I can re-record this if I mess up, because I've already cut the shoulder off. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is conform this guy down here around the shoulder. And let me move it up some more. Okay. So you got to make sure that it's going on the right way, just how it was on the actual figure. Just kind of look, kind of like make sure that it's going in the right spot. You want it to hang pretty close, but not too close. Want to make sure that it can get some pretty good bite on it. So once you have an idea of where it's going to go, you're going to simply put a little bead of glue all around this edge right here. Don't go too overboard. You can always come back in and put a little bit more. This is about where I'm at right here. The stuff is pretty much going to dry on contact, so you're going to want to make sure that you got it lined up just how you want it, and make sure that you got it the right way up. You're going to put it in place, make sure it's on there just how you want it. Press and hold. I usually give it maybe like 10 seconds, perhaps more. Just where you're feeling comfortable with it. Okay, it's on there really good. You got to make sure that you can even see that I went a little too far with my glue. It's not a big deal because it's just gonna dry. You can just take it off with a little bit of that's tissue, which probably should have used paper towel. You can just take it off, or if you get a little extra on there, you can sand it off. It's not a big deal. It will come off. But you can kind of see here that what I was talking about, how it's got a little extra like flap right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in and I'm going to finish putting a little bit of glue on that edge. Doesn't have to be a lot. And I'm going to glue it right up front, right to where you can't see the tip. Now, I would say this is a little bit more of an advanced installation, but it's not too bad, honestly. I mean, as long as you're just really, really careful with, see, it's where you can get that, where I got that tissue on there. I'm just going to touch that up with some paint. That's my fault for using tissue. What you'll want to use is like a rag or something like that. That's if you even get a little extra down there. You can just learn from my mistake there. Go ahead and put it on the figure. Pop your head back on. Barely on screen. Get a good little pose there. Let me tilt this up so you can kind of see what's going on. It's nice and now you can make it fit roll a little better on the shoulders just by manipulating it a little bit. But there we go. That's it. That's how to install a shoulder on the Harker Customs wired cape for the Ranger Slayer. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. And you can find me on Instagram at Harker Customs. I don't use Facebook, so can't really get in touch with me there, but you can easily email me as well at ericwharker@gmail.com. Thank you very much again, and bye.